What is going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to the channel and following back up. It's Tim with Morphed Out Reptiles here, and we got Will.
Yeah.
Paula, bringing you back to another topic. So today we're going to be jumping more into the missed opportunity category.
Right.
If you guys are new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe for us and the like button. And yeah, so missed opportunity, man. You guys don't really have too many missed opportunities.
Yeah, we do. You're crazy.
All right, well, let me rephrase that then, right? So
as it pertains to social media, and yes, we still have a ton of missed opportunities.
So I think I worded that wrong, right? So we see a lot of movement and forwardness and positivity and climbing. Mm-hmm. We don't always see the missed opportunities, which can be, anywhere from minor to tragedy.
Right. And it's crippling. It's really crippling. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, missed opportunities that people don't see that, and it's important. And I like the fact that you and me are going to go through and just, especially with the social media stuff, missed opportunities. We spoke before on the channel, and by the way, guys, if you haven't seen the first part of this segment, I guess you could say, slide over to Flawless Exotic Creations and make sure you guys watch that video, and let us know if you like that one in the comments moving forward. But missed opportunity. So man, today I'm having a bad day and I don't want to post it. Right. That's not gonna affect me, is it?
Every single time.
But what if I do it tomorrow?
Oh man, and most likely you're not going to do it tomorrow, but it's going to end up snowballing. So when you make some of these mental errors, because we've made them as well, where things are just so overwhelming and everything is taken up every second of your day, and you're not able to kind of come full circle with some of your planning. And next thing you know, it falls into the next day and the next day, and the next thing you know, it's a week or so. All you have to do, or we just say, you know what, it is what it is. We hold ourselves accountable. You don't necessarily control alt delete, but you hold yourself accountable and you try to start fresh. It's harder for me with the missed opportunities here because my brain goes into overload. I start thinking about the micro processes of the day-to-day things with social media. For instance, we put out a lot of videos on shadow banning. If you're already not posting very often, you're probably not very familiar with the algorithm. Every algorithm is going to be different depending on where you are, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube. We found YouTube to be the most, I guess, user-friendly. Instagram is like the devil when it comes to shadow banning, because I feel like they trick you a lot of the time. So all those micro thought processes of, all right, I missed a planned scheduled post or reel. Now you're trying to kind of rush, and maybe you'll set something up and maybe it's not quite to your liking. So you're unhappy with what you posted next. Then you try to kind of bunch pieces together and come to find out that, maybe you said one of those shadow ban words like sell, like follow. If you check out any of our kind of listings at the bottom, we try to make sure we stay away from target words when it comes to the shadow ban list, because Instagram doesn't have actual page of saying, hey, read this, it's 300 pages, and if you abide by this, you will be successful. There's no rule of thumb. So we're all out here kind of winging it. The reason that Instagram is one of the most widely used platforms when it comes to the social media, but it's a love-hate situation with Instagram because I'm sure you'll agree. You also go to share some of your content. You say, man, I made this killer video on YouTube. Let me copy the link and post it over here to Instagram. Unknown to us, that will get you shadow banned. And why I keep saying shadow ban, there's no rhyme or reason. There's no book, no outline. All that's out there is word of mouth. But the way it acts is if you do something, maybe they ban you from reaching your potential of your followers for 48 hours. So your normal post that maybe you get 70 likes on this post or reel on a regular basis, how you'll identify that you're shadow banned is you go to make that post and it's been posted for 10 hours and you have 2 likes. And the next day you wake up, you have 3 likes. You've done something to get shadow banned, whether it's the format of the video. Maybe you did landscape instead of portrait. There's so many different things. There's so many different videos here that tell you the possible reasons that you can get shadow banned. So I went down that rabbit hole to hand it off back over to you, but mainly to say that's how my brain works. So now if I already done forgot to post the content that I already was supposed to schedule, and now I'm thinking about all the possibilities of being knocked off with being shadow banned, can you see what kind of tail chasing that make me do?
That seems like some missed opportunity.
Yeah, you're gonna miss opportunities all the way around the board.
Yeah,
all the way around the board. But as far as for you,
here's the thing, man. Like, you see other people doing it. Why can't I do it?
Right.
Is it worth? Are they going to catch me out of 1,000 people? But the biggest thing is, and I love that you and me can bounce these topics back and forth off each other, because like me, I would have thought that way, we'll say 4 years ago, I would have thought that way and not given it any second guessing. Hey, I just seen this guy do it. I'm going to do the same thing because he's successful. He's growing. Let me do that. But at the same time, here we go back to missed opportunities because we do that. I'm not understanding why I'm only getting 2 likes on a post.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, and then missed opportunity. It also, I think it strives into knowing, I won't say necessarily your weak spots, but things, especially with the content that you're unaware of how deep they actually can go. And that's where it's important to go and learn as much as you can, talk to people, express, hey, having a little bit of trouble with this, I'm not understanding. And then you learn things like the algorithm and how secure that actually is and how much it actually pertains to a lot of people.
Right.
And like you were saying, that algorithm type thing, maybe that's just them saying that they're not gonna, you're real, even though it's an awesome reel, shows an awesome animal, it shows, fantastic, recording and everything. But maybe they just won't push your reel to the other people that are randomly going on there.
Absolutely.
That's a big missed opportunity for something that, trying to benefit and grow ourselves and our company. We could have taken that time to reach out and try to make sure that, hey, this is the information that we can learn from. Let's try it this way and actually see a change. Because, I've had a few, I won't lie, I've had a few where I'm like, man, this is a really good post. I had a lot of activity on the other posts, and then one post, it'll be like 4 days and it'll be like 13 likes. Like,
it's crazy, right? Yeah. So something is going on, but you can't really put your finger on it because there's no customer service. There's no, like I said, there's no really warnings out there other than people's personal experiences in dealing with it. To kind of add on to that, I've actually brought it to your attention, which, you've kind of been spearheading your YouTube in a major way, and I'm loving it. I tell you all the time, I watch everyone from the smallest breeder to the biggest breeder. And I've been, one of your cheerleaders in the background trying to kind of edge you to kind of get out there and do your thing. And I've watched you go for, I always joke with you. So if you guys are out there watching some of his videos and you'll see me comment whispers, it's because he has this flow, to to the way he does things when he starts his video off. And I find it amazing, honestly, because you can see when you first started doing videos to now is night and day. You can visibly see then that you were super, super, super nervous. And then you literally would hit a switch and it will go. So now you kind of start your videos off and then you run right into it. The moment you unlock that is the moment you can actually see it come across your face with passion. You can be explaining something and then that super chocolate puzzle, and then you're literally just locked into that project, that moment, right then and there. And it's awesome. So I love seeing that. It makes me excited about my projects and what I'm working with, the species as a whole. Missed opportunity as it pertains to making finances, making revenue, or expanding your brand. That's major. We've talked about that, and I like for other people to hear it here on your platform. There were some surprises that came with that as far as with social media, especially here with YouTube. Everybody, and their mom would love to be monetized. Me and you talk about, getting monetized. We're monetized on Flawless Designer Creations. The thing is, it's cool because you make a little money, and it's cool. You don't make a ton of money till you can get
rich,
but you make a little bit. So if you think about that, you're making content that people are taking in. You're gaining all this exposure. You're getting all this brand awareness, brand exposure. You're getting all this content out there. And essentially, even if it was a penny, you're being paid now to market and advertise your own brand that you own. So just that little, it don't matter how much money you make from the monetization, but just to make anything and not be paying out essentially to market for your own brand is very important. So that's a missed opportunity that people don't take advantage of. And I'm happy that we did, because on top of that, we were striving obviously to get monetized. That happened, but before that happened, we were making revenue on YouTube, not through ad revenue, but literally just being very involved in the community, trying to be creative with our content, our series. We have different series and everything. We have What's in the Box, and we started showing off what we were hatching out, what we were telling everyone, what we're shooting for, things of what was going to be available. And we started selling snakes through YouTube videos, like literally making sales through YouTube. And I never thought about that before it actually just happened. So we were chasing this social media passion, branding, marketing, advertisement, and expected, sales to come through Morph Market, sales to come through email, and didn't expect sales to come through YouTube videos. So we never did that. That would have been a huge, huge missed opportunity. That's why I tell you all the time, anybody out there listening to us, grab your phone. If you have any type of species, any type of, if you have a talent, grab your phone, start recording.
So now when you think of, and it's good that you bring up the monetized thing, especially with YouTube. Again, you guys are monetized on YouTube, and that's awesome. Like, I mean, you guys put out great content, and so many people, like almost every comment, everybody is happy because they're learning, they're gaining knowledge. You guys are very helpful. With somebody like myself, we're trying to build up to that point. And I love this topic because missed opportunity is such a big topic, and it doesn't even have to pertain about an animal. Because to get monetized, from what I've come to know and understand about it, to get monetized, it's not something that I can just call YouTube and be like, hey, if I pay you this much, can you just give me the check?
Right.
And that's not how it works. So in order to get to that point, and like you said, it's very important, because even if it's a penny, somebody is paying you to be you and to promote your stuff that other people promote every day. Every other business that's out there, what you buy. I mean, we look at the difference right now. You're
Right.
rocking. You got to see Will. He's rocking his jersey, his hat. That's his brand. He's pushing that. You know, me, I like the Mavericks. The Mavericks are my team, but I'm pushing somebody else's business.
Right.
In that aspect on YouTube, the missed opportunity is the slightest thing. Like what we were talking about a little bit ago. That one day that I didn't post. Like
Right.
what I did 3 weeks of videos, I'm not going to do this week. That is going to affect that final goal, which for us is, of course, to be monetized, get a bigger following. And I feel that, like when I started the YouTube last year. I was very slow. A video here, a video there, a reel here. But the more that we took it serious and started
Mm-hmm.
posting, we've come to have a lot of new friends, new customers, friends that have turned into customers from YouTube.
Right.
And we're also receiving their comments and critique. And
Mm-hmm.
honestly, with the missed opportunity, and again, some of you guys out there watching this, you might not feel this way, but for myself, I feel the social media thing is maybe it was a little bit of that fear, like it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
That's a missed
Oh,
opportunity.
no. Yeah.
Thinking. And
Yeah.
honestly, now the mindset is not only do I not even think about that, because we're already seeing a positive, reinforced backing from not only you guys at Flawless, we're seeing it from our random customers, our friends that have found us on YouTube randomly. But
Right.
at the same time, it's enabled me to go back. And like you said, I go back and I watch like my first videos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's terrible. I'm like, what was I doing? It doesn't matter how bad it was, but we can see
Right.
the
You did
growth.
it. Yep.
I did
Yep.
it. And that's the thing. Like, the more that we've taken the posting and especially the YouTube and the content aspect more serious, I've
Yep.
seen a night and day turnaround from support in a whole.
Yep. 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 That's what you need, man. All of that right there. Hopefully everybody is listening. You have to understand that for so long, even me telling you, hey, you should do this, trying to nudge him along to do his thing, he's still one of the biggest things that keeps adding. I know it sounds like a broken record to you guys, missed opportunity, because we wanted to hit home.
Yeah.
But this was another thing, same part of the same topic. You were waiting, you're like, I'm gonna do it. And the reason I say you, because everybody does this. When they finally make up their mind, they're gonna, record some content, put some, become a content creator. They tend to smile at themselves. They take themselves as a joke in a sense. They don't take themselves serious. You have to take yourself serious. We understand that certain settings and, maybe you're out to dinner or whatever it may be. We get all of that. But you still have to respect your business enough to take yourself serious. Do not put it on pause. Don't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wait till I get a nice camera. Oh, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to wait till I get microphones. Because all you're going to end up doing is keep putting obstacles in front of you that's going to further your missed opportunities to convert viewers into buyers, which again is another stream of revenue. Like Tim said, I think it's fortunate. Some people think it's unfortunately, but when it comes to social media, things are not going to go backwards. Things are going to continue to progress forward. I can't see the future, but the way the world works is when you have a good thing going, you're going to have people who want, or not necessarily just people, but organizations or people who want the same success you have in your same exact lane. Now, again, we ain't gonna get into all those topics out there because there's a lot in ball pythons we can talk about here.
Oh yeah.
But if you have something good going and people know about it and it's financially rewarding, you're going to now spark more and more interest into that. And if somebody else can kind of figure out how you got there, they're going to be your competition very, very soon. And there's nothing wrong with that. But all I'm saying is we're watching it, and it's concrete. There's not even a hypothetical. That's just how it is. You got YouTube, you got Instagram, you got Reels, you got Shorts, you got TikToks. What do you think is happening here? So you don't think, when you got Morph Market, you got Palm, you got you're going to have it. Just because it's there doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. All it is just that it's options out, and we have choices to do whatever we want to do with it. But when we make those choices, just be wary of your missed opportunities.
Yeah, and it's good because again, the thinking part I feel is it's that hard step, right? Because you have those opinions on certain things, whatever it might be. I'm not going to use that because I just I don't feel that that's going to help me. Well, before you even get started, you're missing an opportunity. Instead of giving it some time, trying it, maybe, hey, let me see if I can work this to where it works for morphed out reptiles. I know Flawless is, but it might not be as not be as lucrative for what they had experienced, but it could be something for me. I just have to figure out what can I use from this? What can we gain from it? And if we can't gain anything from it and it's not working, hey, no harm, no foul. At least instead of having that, again, missed opportunity.
Right, because, and like you said, just to add on just a little bit, any of these platforms, you can literally, the social media side of it. I mean, if a lot of it is free initially, so who's to say you have to sell anything? You know what I'm saying? Let's say, oh, okay, cool. Oh, you got Snake Watchers is a new platform. I'm making something up, obviously. And they have a marketplace there. And you can do this, you can do that, and you can sign up for these accounts. Now, if you sell something, maybe they make a couple cents off it. But if not, they are basically hosting you free of charge. Who's to say? I'm like, okay, cool. I got all these other avenues and I got streams of revenue coming in. And I say, you know what? I want to go experience this. Why I can't go up there, if I have the time or make the time, go up there and chill out and gain a following over there and, talk reptiles, whether it's geckos or snakes, for 30 minutes to an hour. We talk about different projects, maybe that we have hands on here. Maybe I'm reaching out to a whole customer base or interest based group where maybe they're not fond of ball pythons. Maybe they're trying to seek some education. How did we get started? Maybe we can tell our story to them. Maybe you can spark one or two people to kind of contact you afterwards. All I'm saying is now you're going into uncharted territories. You're taking advantage of an opportunity to possibly educate people and bring more people into the hobby, into the industry, and it costs you nothing. Maybe toward the end of the conversation, maybe you spark, conversation with 4 or 5 different people, and now they really want to see not just your holdbacks, but they're asking you now, hey, do you have anything for sale? And you weren't intending on selling anything right there, but you're like, you know what? You can, because that avenue is open to you. You were just looking to hang out free of charge. So you can use different things to your advantage and build your communities how you see fit. Just want to make sure you guys don't lose out on missed opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like you said, man, it's it doesn't always have to be about a sale. A sale is we're grateful, but at the same time, when you're building your brand and you're building your community and your following, that ultimately is. I could be wrong. I mean, a sale, sales are nice. Sales are good to have, but that following is really important because that is going to generate, some type of positivity, whether it's sales, more followers or anything. It's going to work itself out in time. But I feel like without that, if you don't focus on that, those sales, it's probably going to be pretty tricky for you to do the sales.
Oh yeah, as it always is. It's going to be set up that way. You know, one good thing to think about, because you have a lot more time in the game than I do. You know, what are you, 11 years or 12 years in the game at this
So,
point?
licensed. I was actually wrong in the other videos. I didn't. I think we're licensed. It was like 2018. So I'm
Oh
not that
wow, okay.
far. Yeah, I'm not as far as I expected with the licensing, but overall with Morphed Out Reptiles, yeah, we're past the 10 year. I think this is probably 11.
So I and again, off base, cool. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I've never asked you this, and we're recording. So here it is, a decade in, over a decade in, and even with the uptake in content and putting out, you know, good quality content now, you've still been a part of the industry for over a decade. You, and I'm asking this because it's happened to me and I haven't been in the industry that long. You still to this day get people that may message you, maybe even on Morph Market, and they're looking at, you know, a super chocolate or a chocolate, and they ask you one of the most trivial questions, and you answer them obviously, but you're still getting common questions like, oh, you know, I see chocolate, is that an incomplete dominant or is it recessive? How does that work? You still get those questions, correct?
All the time.
Right. And the only
All the
reason
time.
and I know it's a trivial thing, but the only reason I want to kind of make that a point of is because guess what? Even as a dinosaur, like you, been here over a decade,
Yes.
but I say that laughing because, you know, yeah, none of us know it all. Here it is, you've been in this game over a decade and you're still coming, not necessarily face to face all the time, but you're either face to face or you're getting messages that's asking day one questions from people that's interested or thinking about getting into something that we're passionate about. So again, if we keep these avenues
Yeah.
open, you see where I'm going with it, it allows the opportunity to reach more people. Some people don't like new people. I mean, that's the harsh
Honestly,
reality.
and I was gonna say that too, like commenting on that whole part of the topic.
Right.
There are, unfortunately, I mean, it's unfortunate to be able to say this, but there are a lot of people that don't want to do that. And
Right.
again, guys, we're going to keep repeating this in this video and you guys are going to get tired of it, but missed opportunity. I would love more than anything to take the time and help somebody, especially if they're new, because that could spark the next big thing.
Right.
And we never know that. You know what I mean? As breeders, we don't ever know, hey, is this person going to be serious or are they just asking information? But regardless of the fact, I will do my best to answer those day one questions because, hey, I remember being that guy or that kid that, tried to ask a bunch of things from, other breeders and they didn't want to give me the time. And it discouraged me a ton.
Right.
And again, I mean, you're just passing up on opportunities.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you bring it on home, and we'll start wrapping it up. But when you just said that, it comes to my attention as well. Under the Flawless umbrella, we have Flawless Crested Geckos. We do very well with the Crested Geckos. We started with the Crested Geckos. They got us into the ball pythons. Hopefully you've heard our story. But I say that because when Tim just said that about helping, new breeders and new keepers or new enthusiasts or people that's just interested, that's kind of how we kind of paved our way indirectly in Flawless Crested Geckos. We did a lot of online sales. We do a lot of shipping. We still continue to ship. We still do big shows. We do all these different things. But when we started attending and vending shows, we stood out, in my opinion. We've been told this several times because people will come to our table. We have to educate them on what crested geckos are because they're not aware. But it goes deeper than that. because what ends up happening when in our engagement with a potential customer is we let them know, hey, we've been working with this for X amount of years. This is the care guide. This is what they need. These are the normal behaviors. This is what they look out for. The whole run of the mill. And then they're literally in sensory overload because you're at a reptile show, that they're like, okay, cool. They're engaged. They say thank you. They're moving along. And before they leave our booth, we let them know, listen, there's no pressure on you. Take our card. If you pick up a crested gecko from anywhere in here or anywhere at all, and you have any questions, hit us up and we will help you. And they stop in their tracks. And they're like, huh? So if I buy a gecko from Joe Blow over here, and I get home, I can message you and ask you questions? Yes. You will not believe, I can't even count how many people have held on to our contact information, contacted us later on down the road to continue to either tell us thank you or have an issue that we helped them resolve, that has then turned around and bought a very expensive or very pricey project gecko to further their passion. It's happened so many times.
I believe it. I believe
So
it.
if you're not giving these people a cold shoulder, because they're not putting cash in your hand in that very moment, we don't care about that at a show. We literally like the engagement of the people. We do our thing. We hopefully have the geckos, that, and I would say snakes, but we don't been with the snakes yet. But we hopefully have the geckos people are looking for. But if not, we can at least talk geckos, talk their projects. And again, they showed them that the passion we still have for the species that we're working with. That's what we're hoping that they're going to bring as they get into the industry as well. So that's how I feel.
I agree with you, man. It's about engagement, building friendships, building relationships, building. We want not even just our customers. It does not. The customer is a benefit. You know what I mean? It's a plus, but you want people to feel like, okay, you're not just trying to talk to me just to push something on me. You're really willing to help me in this journey with, limited, time or resources or time, money spent with you, but it's building a bigger and better community and following. And when you do that for certain people, it might not be right away. It could be a year or however long it will be. People remember that.
Yeah, because you planted that seed. You planted that seed.
You take the time. They know that you're genuine. Hey, look, no hard feelings if you guys are still going. And like you said, perfect example, man, because I've seen it from you guys in person at the shows. Even if somebody's just like, I'm not here to buy. I'm just checking it out because we were in the area. And then you meet somebody like that and they're like this guy, like these guys are really, really cool. Let's start following them. And then they get attached to the content and the positivity. Yeah. And again, that's a non-missed opportunity because you've got to think of the bigger picture.
Right. Plus you're witnessing a lot of the stuff that you personally may deem dissatisfying, when you're hearing these engagements or these interactions, maybe with your fellow breeders or vendors, and that customer tells them, hey, I'm not looking to buy anything today, but maybe in another month or 6 months, and you literally hear that breeder, because maybe they have to tend to something else, they kind of just exit stage left. They just cut that whole conversation. They're done when they find out that person isn't trying to spend money in that moment. So from my personal opinion, you don't want to be that person. Again, you can do whatever you like, but you want to be very open and welcoming, especially to the newer generation of keepers coming in.
Yeah, I definitely well said. We'll definitely agree. We don't ever want to. That's just not our goal, to be in that path of doing anything. I do not think that it's the right mentality, so to speak, to be with anybody. And like Will said, you guys, everybody knows everybody's free to do and run their thing how they please, but this is just a little bit of an awareness to try to help people see that outside. Hey, maybe, you know, just think about things a little bit, because it could damage something later on down the line and you might not even know it. So
Yeah, it could be
um
detrimental. It could be one of those situations where you can't come back from.
and it very well could be. I mean, depending on how, and again, that's the joys and, you know, everything of dealing with not only our animals that we deal with, but dealing
Yep.
with so many different customer base.
Right.
All it takes is one time, and you and me, we've talked about this before, you know, that name and reputation. You know, you want, especially building a company and building a brand, you want somebody to be like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys ever seen the diamonds, you know, Flawless over there? You want every person to be like, man, they're just the best. Or you guys
Everyone.
seen Tim, you know, at the show? Do you guys know him? We've had nothing but great success with him. He's so friendly, so helpful. That is where you want, because that is going to create the more opportunities for you instead of missing them.
Yeah, you want it to resonate with your crowd. You want to be able to
Absolutely.
know. You definitely want to be able to know.
So, but yeah, guys. I mean, you know, we're trying to keep these not so long, and just, you know,
Right.
bringing you little topics and little conversations that, you know, hopefully these videos can help you. I know me and Will, we're definitely gonna have some stuff in the works to try to do more of these type of videos. Be
Mhm.
sure, guys. You know, in the comments, let us know, is this the kind of content that you guys feel is helpful? Are there questions or concerns, or maybe even, you know, possibly topics that you guys would like to hear more of? That way me and Will can, you know, conversate on the backstage part and, you know,
Right.
try to help out furthering this community better and bringing you content that you guys enjoy. So
Because it's needed.
um, you know, with that being said, again, it's, you know, it's always great sitting down with you, Will, talking shop and putting the content and helping everybody out there. So again, guys, this is, you know, the other one. You know, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later.